Hello everyone. So the focus of today's video, I'm going to have a look at a settlement called Malaya Loknya, where a large number of Russian troops are surrounded. Firstly, this photo on screen now shows smoke rising after Ukrainian artillery strikes on Russian positions here. The Russian positions are in a women's prison, so this is going to be a well-fortified place and a tough nut to crack. Here's a Russian report of the situation, roughly translated as followed. In the village of Malaya Loknya, for the third day, the Crest has continued unsuccessful attempts to storm the women's colony, on the territory of which our soldiers are holding the defence. Among other things, the enemy use artillery, tanks and other armoured fighter vehicles to suppress the resistance of the garrison and defenders, concentrated a significant amount of electronic warfare, making it as difficult as possible for our UAVs to operate. However, to date, the enemy has not had success. All attacks have been repelled. The defence continues to hold out. Our main ground forces cannot yet approach the territory of the colony, but provide the maximum possible fire support, including massive attacks on enemy personnel, strikes with heavy MLRS with cluster munitions. These events can rightfully be considered the defence of Pavlov's House 2.0. So, there is a bit of copium in there, but reading between the twaddle, there's a Russian holdout in the prison at Malaya Loknya, with some heavy fighting going on. Live UA shows the town as Ukrainian controlled. I think as there is a considerable Russian holdout here at the prison, that isn't really the case. I would personally put this as contested. However, the Russian holdout is pretty much just the prison, rather than elsewhere in town. Reportedly, the rest of the town is under Ukrainian control. The troops in the prison completely cut off, judging by the report. Territory to the north, such as the settlement of Pograbki, is confirmed to be Ukrainian controlled. And Russian sources said earlier on that Malaya Loknya was bypassed by Ukraine initially, I guess because it was seen as a heavily defended place and it was decided to encircle and cut it off rather than enter it at the time. So, this is an area we need to keep an eye on. No mention as to how many troops are inside. Since they're still holding out, I imagine it is quite a sizable force. Now a new video shared by Ukraine here, showing a pair of abandoned BMPs getting finished off by drones. You can see both BMPs are already looking a bit rough and badly damaged before the drone comes in to finish them off. Quite a few drones are used to destroy them and make sure they can't be recovered and repaired by Russia. Interestingly, you can see plumes of smoke from nearby too. Looks like this road and the surrounding areas was hit pretty hard by artillery. I can't make out if there are any Russian vehicles amongst the smoke, or if it's just trees and vegetation burning. Blinsk on Twitter did the geolocation here, geolocating it to be this spot. So this is a road leading towards a settlement called Sukhai. Both the vehicles were heading south. Zoomed out, you can see that this is a main road leading from Rilsk to Glushkova, so a key supply road, and given the smoke, Ukraine has eyes on it, hitting vehicles using this road. Given the direction, I think it very likely these two BMPs were heading to the pontoon crossings that Russia keeps building here, to try and cross over and help defend the region from Ukraine's ongoing offensive. No geolocation for our next video, but it is worth a look. This shows a Russian T-72B3 abandoned in a field, getting hit and finished off by Ukrainian drones. No settlement was given, so no idea where exactly this is other than somewhere in Kursk. 372 of the B3 variant have been lost so far according to Oryx, but just over 1,500 of T-72s altogether. The military balance estimates Russia has 950 T-72s remaining. And here, a photo. Ukraine has captured a nice truck. This is a KAMAZ 5350, one of Russia's most commonly used supply trucks, and other than a smashed windscreen, it looks to be in pretty decent condition. Ukraine has already painted over the V at the front with its tactical triangle marking, so I expect this will be put into service again soon to help Ukraine's operations in the region. A video from the Russian side here worth a quick look. This shows a Cossack MRAP of Ukraine's burning after a drone strike. Not the most interesting video, but its location is quite interesting. So this is heading towards Ruskaya Konopelka. This has been the centre of some pretty intense fighting so far, surprisingly, as it is a very small settlement. This is where we saw a Russian BTR-82 destroying either a Ukrainian BMP or a Russian BMP in friendly fire, which I covered a few days ago. This Kozak was hit en route into town, but it does suggest that Ukraine is still pushing here and fighting is still going on, as Ukraine tries to take control of the settlement itself. This is here, so Ukraine controls the territory west and just to the north of it. This is likely the next target for Ukraine's push here. You can see a river running through Ruskaya Konopelka and the nearby settlement of Pushkarno. So this would be a pretty solid defensive position for Ukraine's if it could capture it and dig in here, with the river forming quite a natural barrier for Russia to cross in their counterattack. Here's an interesting video shared by Max Nafofeller on Twitter. So it's a time-lapse of the Kursk special military operation, from the initial incursion on the 6th of August until the 23rd. So you can see just how fast Ukraine pushed in a handful of days early on, breaking through the Russian defensive lines very quickly, until Russia started to get more organised and stabilise them a bit. Up until the 13th, there were some territorial changes, where land swapped hands between Russia and Ukraine, both gaining and losing control of territories. Then it somewhat stabilised with progress slowing a bit. You can see how after that date Ukraine's progress is slow, but still steady means to be gained in the northern push, the eastern push, and of the southern push. On the 17th, we see how the Russian front lines were broken through in the south, with Ukraine securing the settlement of Ulanok and that territory north of Borky in the southeast. On the western front, they gained land to the south around Gordivka and south of Snagost. The video ends showing Ukrainian territorial control as it stands on the 22nd of August, so it is a few days out of date. Now, let's have a look at this compared with Deep State's map and Live UA's map, as I think a comparison of all three will give us the best idea as to how things actually are. So this map is shown as Ukrainian control to the south to Ozerki, with the settlement still in Russian hands but Ukraine on the edges. Then, Ukrainian control nearing Giri. Moving north, the next settlement on the edge of the territorial control is Martinovka. Then, pushing north as you can see, and tightening the noose around Koronovo. On the western front, control over Snagost, and then pushing west to control the railroad lines. To the south, Gordivka, and areas to the west are shown in Ukrainian hands. The numbers you can see, I believe, are the deployed troop numbers in the area, or rather estimated deployed troop numbers. These numbers seem a bit on the low side, and a lot of guesswork. I don't think anyone other than those in charge truly knows how many on either side are committed to Kursk. Live UA's map, in the comparison here, pretty similar overall. The top one shows more Ukrainian control to the north, a little bit more to the south, showing that Ukraine having reached Ozerki, but by and large it's very similar. The top one shows the area directly south of Snagos as Ukrainian controlled. That is accurate, as we have geolocated footage of Ukrainian troops in that area, and even a little bit further west from there. And now adding deep states to it, pretty similar overall. The only major difference is it shows some areas as unknown and contested, rather than Ukrainian controlled, which I think is the most likely scenario here. This does show the area south of Snagos as Ukrainian controlled as well. So overall, I think these three maps combined like this and compared, you can see they are actually pretty similar and so pretty accurate. So they do give a pretty good idea of Ukrainian control in Kursk. Deep States shows 823 square kilometers as fully captured and controlled by Ukraine, with another 416 kilometers as contested or unknown. So Ukraine could possibly control just over 1,000 square kilometers of Kursk, gaining this amount of land in just over 2 weeks. By comparison, Russia's main Avdiivka offensive, which is considered their most successful at the moment, has taken well over a year and captured less territory at 648 square kilometers. And that's considered good going by Russian shills. This is considered a success. And that's even without mentioning the catastrophic losses suffered there in that time. Ukraine has had losses in Kursk, sure, but nowhere near as high as Russia's pushes for minimal gains in other areas, and especially Russia's push in Avdiivka, which is considered a success. So that's it for this video. No real territorial changes to report today. The front lines seem fairly stable and static, but I expect that will change in the coming days when the Russian munitions and that sort of thing on the south side of the river start to deplete, as remember, the bridges have been destroyed, so resupply is difficult. So, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found the video interesting. If so, please click like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much, and take care, everybody.